Listen to this crunch. Did you hear the angels singing? Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We're in the kitchen today doing more of the Homestead Kitchen Skills series, and we've got an interesting one today. We've had trouble finding saltine crackers for, soups. When I love saltines, I just grew up eating saltines. I love saltines inside of soup and chili and things like that. But we've had trouble finding them since Thanksgiving, really. We do find them here and there, whatever. And it's not a crazy deal. It's nothing insane, right? It's not an expensive product, but it is something we've had trouble finding. So we decided, hey, Angela's like, I bet I can make my own. So here she is. She's gonna make her own saltines, and 4 ingredients, y'all. Probably a lot less ingredients than you're gonna see on the back of your saltine box. So let's get started, shall we?
In this bowl, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. You just want to stir those together. You're not going to believe how simple this is. You just want to stir those 2 ingredients together. Make sure your salt is well distributed into your flour. Now we have 4 tablespoons of salted butter that I have melted. You want to pour that in. Just stir this in a little bit. He'll start to clump and make little clumps. You want it to do that. Most saltine crackers you'll find in the store, the fat that goes into them is soybean oil.
Oh, no thank you.
And we avoid.
We try to avoid.
We try to avoid soy products.
Yeah, just in general. You can look that up on your own if you want to, but that's something we try to avoid.
Now for the 4th ingredient. We have water. I'm going to give the measurement to you in tablespoons because you don't want to dump all of this in at once. It is 12 to 14 tablespoons, which is about 3/4 of a cup to a cup of water.
But you go a tablespoon at a time.
You want to go very slowly because you don't know how much it's going to take. So you want to start out by doing 3 tablespoons because you don't want to make a sticky dough. You want it to be a nice smooth dough, not a sticky dough. And you work that in until all of the water is absorbed.
You just repeat that process?
Well, at first you start out doing 3 at a time.
Okay.
And then you reduce.
Okay.
So now I'm going to add 3 more. And then after this, you will work that in until all of it is absorbed. And then after this, you will start putting 1 tablespoon at a time because as you can see, it is starting to make a shaggy dough already.
Shaggy dough?
A shaggy dough.
You make a movie about that?
No, that's the shaggy dog, not the shaggy dough.
Oh, my bad. Poor attempt at humor, just to break up the stuff.
Now we're adding 1 tablespoon. And you will notice it getting more and more coming together as a dough as you add. And see, this is coming together super quick.
So now a tablespoon at a time until it's done?
Yes. And now, at this point, I'm going to get my favorite tools in there. The ones God put at the end of my wrist. You guys know that's my favorite.
Fingernails. Oh, fingers.
At the end of my wrist, not the end of my fingers. Okay.
Get your hands in there.
Get your hands in there.
Alright.
That way you can feel the dough and you can actually feel when it needs more water. Because if you're just doing it with a spoon, you can't always feel how much water it's going to need.
So you don't need all the water you had there, you just kind of figure it out.
It depends on your day.
Yeah.
Just that quick. with about a half a cup of water, adding them tablespoons at a time, we already have a nice smooth dough. But this will depend on your environment. You must remember, as I've told you before, we have had a snowstorm.
Yep.
So there is a lot of moisture in the air. So that's probably why it took so little water to make a nice smooth dough.
If you live in a drier climate or you're having just drier times, it's going to take more.
Yes.
Okay.
So now you want to just roll it around to smooth it out into a nice ball of dough. And it's not sticky or anything right now. It's just a nice smooth dough ball. And that's what you want. You don't want to overwork it. You don't want to work a bunch of gluten into it. And if you've seen the Cheez-It video, you know, at this point, it had to go rest in the refrigerator. This, you don't have to. I'm going to divide it in half just for easier use. And now you can just start rolling it out. So now we're just going to start rolling it out. And it's a very smooth dough. I've got flour set aside in case I need it, but the dough is so smooth that it's not going to give us any problems. You want to roll, just like with the Cheez-Its, you want to roll this out to about 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to take a little bit, but the dough is so smooth and so soft, it's really not going to take long at all to get it to that 1/8 of an inch. Okay, your dough is about 1/8 of an inch now. As you can see, you're starting to see the countertop through it just a little bit.
Start seeing shades of water behind it. Yep.
And that's how you know it's ready. And see, it comes up easily without any flour. That's how you know you've got a good dough. Now, we are going to cut this. I'm going to try to square it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to get some of the wonky pieces out, but
if you just wanted to sit this on your pan and cut it that way, you could. But this is just going to work better for us, we believe.
Yeah. Now, so they don't have to be perfect.
This is farmhouse style.
Yeah.
Rustic.
So now we're going to start cutting our crackers, and I'm using a pizza cutter. You can get fancy if you want to and use one of the fluted ones. I'm using what I have. And you can cut, honestly, you can cut them as big or as little as you want them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It ain't going to matter. They're all going to bake the same.
Yes.
And they all eat the same.
Like some of these are big, some of them are little. Doesn't matter.
When I go to the deli and get them to cut me some lunch meat for sandwiches, they say, well, how do you want it cut? I said, but I don't care. I said, as long as I can gnaw on it, I'll be good. So, kind of the same thing.
And it really doesn't matter.
Nope. Nope.
And see, now you've got, these little bitty corners.
Somebody's going to get ripped off right here.
Yeah. No, so I'm going to pull out. You can re-roll that dough.
Or not. It ain't going to matter.
You can re-roll it or you can leave it. You can choose to do this step or not do this step, but it does release steam and helps them puff better if you do poke them. I'm just using a fork.
Just stab them a little bit.
And doing about 3 pokes per
Kind of like if somebody's reaching for that last biscuit and you wanted it, you just kind of reach out and poke them with that fork. It's like, hands off, son. That's my biscuit.
Okay.
What, you never done that? Oh.
No.
Oh, my bad. Maybe it's just me. Huh.
And you just want to poke all of them really good. Depending on how big they are or how little they are, how many pokes you will need per cracker.
Well, that guy got ripped off. You gave him 9, that one's 6. Or, I'm sorry, 12, not an 8.
He's a smaller cracker. Now you just want to repeat the same process for the next ball of dough. Now you want to put these on a parchment lined sheet pan. You don't have to separate them really far apart because they're not going to rise.
They'll puff, but
they're going to
puff,
out, but they're not going to spread out.
Okay, so put them close together, make sure you can get them all in there.
Yes, that way you get them all on your pan.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay, now we've got our crackers all laid out. And we've got our oven preheating to 400 degrees. And in this, we have 3 tablespoons of melted butter. You may or may not need all of that. We're going to brush the tops with a little bit of melted butter. Because extra butter is just going to make them better. And also, it will help the salt stick. So we're going to brush all of these crackers, and then I'll show you how to sprinkle the salt. Now we've got them all brushed with butter.
Shiny.
And now we're going to sprinkle them with salt. Now, if you like unsalted crackers,
Then what's your problem?
then you don't have to brush them with the butter, and you don't have to do this part. Because the butter helps the salt stick. And like I told you with the Cheez-Its, the higher you raise your hands when you're sprinkling, the more coverage you'll get.
Unless you put your hands over your head, then you can salt your head.
That's very true. I didn't think of that.
See? That's poor instructions.
So, if you're sprinkling up really high, then don't sprinkle over your head, sprinkle over the pan.
That seems unnecessary, but so is the things that says do not eat inside those little salt looking packets you get inside.
You mean
the
that's not
bottles.
what that's for?
If it's 2022 and you still gotta tell people don't to eat this stuff, there's something wrong.
I always assumed that was French fry salt. That's what I call it.
Right. So, once everybody's thoroughly salted and buttered and poked, put them in the oven, right?
You put them in a 400-degree oven.
Until they're done.
Basically, until they start to puff. They will start to puff and turn golden brown. And I will show you what they look like when they are out of the oven. They are out of the oven.
I'm so excited about them. My gosh, they're delicious.
And we've given them a chance to cool and crisp up, because as they cool, they will get crisp.
We're missing a few. Somebody got into them. I don't know what happened. We may have possibly dropped something down my throat. But, you know.
And as they cool, they will crisp up. So you want to let them cool nicely.
Yeah, they did crisp up.
And I will tell you, halfway through,
Look at that.
you want to switch the pans. If they took about 15 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes. And halfway through, you want to switch the pans. Put the bottom pan on the top and the top pan on the bottom. That way they bake evenly.
Lighter and dark pans.
And we have, you saw, we had a dark pan and a light pan. The dark pan will bake much quicker than the light pan. The light pan will take longer to bake.
Lighter colored, the silvery looking one. Yeah.
And if you are like us and you like your crackers nice and brown, at the very end, turn your oven on broil for a few seconds to a minute. Keep a very close eye on it because they will burn easily because of all the butter. But just broil them just for a few seconds and you will get this nice pretty brown
just get
color.
them to your desired brownness.
And I'll let Jason show you.
If you can't tell, I'm a little excited about them because they're stinking delicious. But, you know.
Look at this beautiful cracker.
Look at that. Look at that. Now, the lighting's a little bit different up here where I'm at. So, you know. But it's wonderful. Listen to this crunch. Did you hear the angels singing? It's there. Wow, I heard it. So good. It's so delicious. And we're really excited about them.
Better than store-bought.
Well, unimaginable. So much better than what you're going to get in the store. And really super easy. And really stinking easy. We may never buy saltines out of the store again, to be honest with you. So hey, thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate it. We love you guys so much. My name is Jason. It's Angela Kay. Part of Creation Homestead. We love you guys. God bless you. Goodbye.